Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Keeping Up with the Joneses. My name is Rika. I'm a blogger at RikaMovesTheChains.com, and I'm here against my will. Tonight on the show, from Dallas Cowboys Uncensored, Eric Mr. Producer Berger, and also from Dallas Cowboys Uncensored, and unfortunately for everyone, the reason Pornhub had to adopt community standards, Charlie Moffat. What's up, fucker? Hey guys, listen. Real quick, do us a favor, hit that like button over there, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Even if you hate us, you can't troll us if you don't know when we're on. Tonight's show is sponsored by TwistedGorilla.com. Twisted Gorilla is the best place online to get t-shirts. They've got funny t-shirts, sarcastic t-shirts, and hey guys, they've even got Cowboys t-shirts. And you can let them know that you're a fan of this show and you're a fan of the Dallas Cowboys when you use coupon code RIKA15 at checkout and also save 15%. So head to TwistedGorilla.com and check them out. That coupon code and the information is in the ticker right down there. These are really great shirts, guys. I've been wearing them for a couple months now, and I love them. Soft, comfortable, hold their shape when you wash them. Nice shirts. Okay, homies, what are we talking about tonight?
Panthers. The Panthers.
Is this what is this? Is this about some kind of football? What are we doing here? What's going on?
Already peeps in the chat. The Lunatic, what's up? Mendoza, good to see you, bro. They already hype about the Panthers. Keith Joyner, what's up? What's up? Our Ken, what's up? Let's see here. Any good questions? Yeah, it'll be about the Panthers, right? Y'all want to do a small little recap, or we over the slaughter of the Eagles?
It was really fun. And it was earlier this week. I dropped by. I received an invitation to come on by the Philly Notion show for his crow eating session, and I got to tell the notification gang and you guys, it was so great. In the third quarter, when Diggs had that pick six, I was standing right outside the door of the stadium, out the Crown Royal tent with Philly Notion, and we're standing there together and we're watching it on the screen, and the horror, the disappointment, the humiliation he suffered.
I'm so jealous y'all got to go.
It was beautiful.
What a great game to go to. I mean,
and then we're standing in that line, Eric. We're standing in that line, and this side door opens up, and I look over, and some security guys come out, and the halftime was just over. And then who comes out? Jimmy Johnson. And I was like, Jimmy, I love you. And he just waved and kept walking. I was hoping he would stop. I wanted a picture, but it didn't happen that way. I could be so Twitter famous right now.
How was the hair?
Jimmy screwed.
Immaculate.
Immaculate.
Ken Jordan coming from Connecticut. You way up there in the Northeast.
I think he's recent sober. I think I remember him on Twitter, maybe not.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate you, buddy. What we got here? What's everybody saying?
A fun game all the way around.
Yeah, we ain't got to touch too much on it. I mean, we whooped their ass pretty much in every phase. So we can move on. I mean, there's nothing really to discuss there, in my opinion. Go with that.
That was ass whooping.
On to the Panthers.
Yep.
On to the Panthers.
Okay.
All right,
let's do it.
injury report.
Yeah, let's talk about
I
injuries.
checked it before the show. The most recent thing we've got Cowboys. It's the list we already knew. It's Armstrong and Secchi, Wilson and Watkins. Gregory will play. Apparently, the knee was just a little stiff. He gave an interview today, said something about spraying a little WD-40 on it, but he's good to go. And then on the Panther side, obviously we knew about McCaffrey. He's out. They've got one questionable, guard John Miller, and one doubtful, defensive end, Gross Matos.
Dirty. Philly lotion.
Philly lotion.
I swear I love Looney Tunes.
Yeah, Gross Matos. So that's the defensive end, right?
Yes.
And I saw Cam Irving made the injury report. He'll play.
Yes.
But I looked at snap counts, and he's played every snap that they've ever fucking played this season. So that's a big up for us. Banged up, I'll take a Cam Irving versus Gregory all day. That's a great matchup. Yeah. And I've had a chance to watch a little bit of the tape because I have Christian McCaffrey in one of my leagues, and so I've seen a couple of games. I didn't get to watch their last game, but up front, I think their record is a little overrated. The hype around them is a little overrated. I think the competition they played is pretty shitty. 2 rookie quarterbacks, and it's just I think it's a lot of hype. I like the matchup here on both sides of the ball. I think it's going to be another ass whipping in my opinion. I know that's probably not the most popular deal, and maybe some of the rah-rah fans that are confident coming off of last game would say that, but I really do think this is a great matchup for us, and I think we're going to run away with it again.
DJ Dog mentions the return of Malik Turner on special teams. We did activate Malik Turner. Also, Austin Faolu. Not sure if I've heard. Yeah, Hamilton. Activated Jeremy Sprinkle again and Nick Ralston this time.
I could have sworn they both came up. Hamilton and Ralston came up last week, or they were just pulled off of COVID. Were they actually activated?
They at the game. They was at the game. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
gotcha.
Yeah. Big Ham played quite a bit.
Yeah. So, in thinking about this, especially with the Nick Ralston, I guess as far as the key matchups go, and really, I don't think that our defense is going to have a hard time containing them. I don't see Carolina putting just a whole lot of points on the board. Sam Darnold is pretty reckless with the ball. I would guess that Diggs will probably get an interception. And when it comes to the wide receivers, they've really only got one good one. I mean, you got DJ Moore, but I don't think he's going to be any problem for Diggs, though, to cover. And then finally, I think we're going to get a fair matchup where Anthony Brown is concerned, because the other two, you've got Terrence Marshall Jr. He's a rookie second rounder. He's had 10 catches on 14 targets, 91 yards in 3 games. And then you've got Robbie Anderson. Yeah.
He's the take the top off guy, right?
Yeah, undrafted free agent in 2016. He's been with the Jets until last year, and he came to the Panthers. Last year was his best year, 95 receptions and just under 1,100 yards. But his last year with the Jets and with Sam Darnold, he had 52 receptions, 779 yards. And he just hit 100 yards last week on the whole season, so...
Yeah, Darnold really he leans on DJ Moore quite a bit, and before McCaffrey went down, Christian McCaffrey. Those two were the target leaders in the passing game.
Yeah, McCaffrey was the second as far as passing yards for them. So,
and that's every year, whether it was Darnold back there or whoever the fuck they had before, Teddy B. It didn't matter. That was that's just part of their fucking game, is using CMC in both, rushing, passing. He gets 30, 40 touches a game pretty regularly. Chuba Hubbard, their backup, not going to fill the shoes. He's not that great in the passing game. And, it's looking up. I wanted to look up. I should have had it with me. The defensive fronts that they faced. It looks like, they're on paper, they're a good run team, but I don't think they are. I don't think that line is as big and bad as the record says. I know their offense and defenses are ranked up there. And hats off to them. They've just done what they were supposed to do and beat teams that they were supposed to. Now the Saints, kind of a big change in strength of opponent there, but with I've always said it, Jameis is peak and valley type of quarterback. He's going to have those big 4 or 5 touchdown games, and then he's going to have those big 4 or 5 interception games. So it wasn't surprising to me there. Plus division, I mean, you never know. They'd play each other tough regardless. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, as far as their defense goes, I just don't. I'm sorry, no. As far as our offense goes, I just don't think our defense is going to have a whole lot of trouble there. But now their defense, I'm a little concerned with. I think a lot of fans are underestimating that Carolina defense. I think that they're pretty good. My main concern, obviously the stats as far as the Jets game go, as far as the Houston game goes, they were playing the Jets in Houston. But what concerns me is that week 2 game against New Orleans. They held Kamara to 8 carries and 5 yards. They've given up less than 50 yards on the ground in 3 weeks. So you can't run against them. But whenever you pass against them, then you're opening the door for Hassan Reddick. So again, we've got Terrence Steele down there on the end, and he did great against Joey Bosa. He did a good job, but he's gonna have to do it again. I don't think it's insurmountable, but I certainly would think that Kellen has game planned for it. And then adding in Sprinkle and Nick Ralston. So they're obviously, they're bringing in an extra tight end. They're going to be able to give still some help down there to keep Reddick off of Dak. Reddick's had 4.5 sacks in 3 weeks. And then Ralston, where these other teams have not been successful in the run, I wouldn't be surprised seeing him sometimes kind of in an I formation, making a lane for us.
That's a good question, E.
Short week in the mini bye for them. Where are you at all? No. I think if we were on a losing streak and then facing the short week, it would be different. But I think that big win Monday night kind of hypes them, kind of momentum. And we didn't get beat up real bad Monday night, so I think they'll be fine. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah, the key word is mini. It's not really, a full extra week. I don't think a couple days is gonna change anybody.
And they're coming to us. They're coming to us, which shaves a little bit off of their 10-day stretch there.
Well, we're also getting one less day too. Coming off a Monday Night Football game.
Right.
So they're getting 9 days, we're getting 6. Damn, did that fucking question confuse you that much? Everybody shut the fuck up. I said that. Y'all trying to do the fucking math in y'all's head? 6 and 9, 69. Is that what got y'all?
Yeah.
Charlie.
DJ Carolina likes to use their tight ends. Dan Arnold traded. That was kind of his. He was like 3rd or 4th in targets, I believe. One of their safety blankets, especially on 3rd down. It was more in Dan Arnold. It's fucking weird seeing that shit on fantasy because I've got Christian McCaffrey on my team, so I see all the Panther shit, and it's Sam Darnold or S Darnold to D Arnold. Fucking was tripping me out.
Don't see them getting to him much at all. Schultz, other back receiver, will neutralize their rush. Yeah. My only concern there is just is Steele, and I know that he's done very well the last 2 weeks, but I need more than 2 weeks to be convinced. I need more than 2 weeks to be convinced on Steele. But then, once Dak gets the ball off, though, we're in really good shape. They've got Dante Jackson at corner. That's all I got. So I got Horn is injured.
Is CJ Henderson active? Is he going to play this game?
I
They've
don't.
got a few guys, don't they?
Yeah, I don't know if Henderson is active yet. There was something with him. I don't know if he's been activated yet or not. Let me look it up. Wait for Charlie to say something while I look it up. Wait for Charlie to talk his shit to me.
Reports say he will play. That's what the lunatic has.
Okay. Okay.
They do play fast. They fly around a lot. Usually use a 4-man front, blitz packages. Linebackers move around. I still think it's a
It'd be
good
a tougher
matchup.
game than some people think, but I don't think it'd be as tough as some people think. I'm usually in the middle on all this shit, and I am on this one too. I just don't see it being that bad of a game, but I don't see it being that easy of a game either. I think for Carolina to win, I think they have to play an A+ game. I think they have to come out and just be mistake free, or we have to come out and just play like shit. Just have one of them shit games where nothing's working for us. But as long as we play like we have, even in our loss against Tampa Bay, as long as we play like we did the first 3 games for Carolina to beat us, they're going to have to play better than they did in any game they played, including the New Orleans Saints game. They'll have to play better than that to beat us because we're a better team than New Orleans. We got a better quarterback. We got better wide receivers. We got better O-line. And I'm going to go on a limb and say our defense ain't far behind their defense anymore.
No.
Yeah, I agree with
No,
that.
definitely not. I don't think our defense will have any trouble handling their offense. I think we can limit them to very few points. We just have to. I think our offense is going to have a harder game this week.
If you
They'll
don't
be able to do
establish,
it. And as long as we don't get stupid, John Fossil, as long as we don't get stupid and do something incredibly stupid, then it should work out. It should work out. It should be a really good game. It's not going to be a blowout, I don't think, like what we saw Monday night. I think it's going to be something closer to what we saw against the Chargers, is my initial reaction.
well, blowouts like Monday night, nobody can predict that. Anybody predicts that, and then and it happens, they bang their chest, they're dipshits. You didn't fucking know that was going to happen. That was just something you predicted, hoping you was right, and then you can bang your chest. I see, I'm so smart. You're not fucking smart. You guessed right is all you did. So yeah, typically shit like that happens when things just start to steamroll. And that's what they did with them. They was only 2 touchdowns behind, 13 points behind at halftime. No,
It was 27-7, 20
yeah,
points.
yeah. It was no at halftime. It was 20-7, and then we
Okay.
came out, intercepted the ball.
That's
That's
right.
when everything went to shit. At
Yeah.
that time, if they would have drove down and scored even a field goal, we still won, but it would have changed the thing. The tempo of the game. Once we came out the first drive and intercepted pick 6, that shit was over. And I even told him. And usually you don't ever hear me say that during the game. But I looked at my son. I was like, this shit's over, and it was because once that happens, it just shit just started steamroll. The crowd got into it, and then everything just went to shit for Philadelphia after that, and we just took advantage of every bit of it. It was a good game. It was it was just hell. Even my son, he's 19, so he's never seen a good defense. He said this best defense I've ever seen from the Cowboys. That's because you was fucking about 3-4 years old last fucking time we had a good defense. I guess 2014 we was second in turnovers. We did good on turnovers, but most of them came in the last 5 to 6 games. We just had a heater the last quarter of the season that year and just started picking balls off left and right. In 2016, we was good. We was like second in points allowed, but yeah. Yeah, no, I don't see it being a very
We're
difficult
going to
game.
want to get that on video, Victor. I
I'll
need
be
some
right there with
footage.
you, Vic.
I need some footage for my new show that starts on Wednesday, and your nuts being dropped on the table. I can't imagine anything better.
I'm not so sure they're going to drop. I mean, you might have to just ease them on the table. I'm not so sure your nuts drops like that. Not that I would know because I never seen them. Wink, wink.
I actually think we're going to blow them out. I mean, our definitions might differ, but I think we get up early. I think Darnold makes mistakes. And from what I saw against Philly, we're not taking our foot off the gas. We threw two touchdowns after being up 20. So, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't take our. It's not that we didn't take our foot off. We ran the fuck out of the ball after that. The only difference was they wasn't stopping the run. So we was driving the ball down with run plays, getting 7-8 yards of carry, getting in the red zone, then passing and getting in the fucking end zone. But we tried to take our foot off. No, and I couldn't even call that taking your foot off gas. I'm a pass before a run guy. But when you get a lead like that, I have no fucking issue running the ball in the fourth quarter. The only thing is they couldn't stop the run either. We was just fucking eating them up with our run too. We just run Zeke, run Pollard, run Zeke, and it's just eating clock up, eating yards up, get in red zone, throw to Schultz, touchdown. Just kind of one of them things that they couldn't fucking stop us. They couldn't stop our pass. They couldn't stop our run. They couldn't stop anything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hell, we tried. We tried to fucking back off. They wouldn't let us. They just kept fucking saying, here you go, have 7 yards on this carry. Because I even said, it was probably the middle of the third quarter, I told my son, I was like, I bet we're about to start running the ball. Sure enough, we came out, the first 2-3 plays, ran the ball, but goddamn, we picked up fucking 20 yards on 3 run plays.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ. And that's what I say, don't stop. If something's working, don't fucking stop doing it. Just keep fucking doing it. And in that case, fuck, we was up, we was trying to kill clock, and hell, we was killing clock and scoring. We just dominated them, dude. That was just that was a fucking great game. I'm trying to think all the games I've been to. Which the Indianapolis game in 2014, we beat the shit out of them too, 40-something to 10, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And that was a lot like that game. It was a relaxed game. We came out from the get-go, beat the shit out of them, and it's so good to be at games like that because there's no stress. You just get to cheer, lay back, no fucking up on your seat oh shit, are we going to fuck this play up? It was a great game to be at.
I was trying to get splits on what we had rushing each half and passing each half. I was kind of.
I'll get them for you.
I know we had 160 total yards on the ground, right? And we passed for 220-ish, 230, something like that.
Yeah. I'll get them for you.
Yeah.
Well, you want each quarter, each half, or what do you want?
Just half is fine.
Oh, shit, excuse me. I don't know what it is about this fucking show, but every time I get on here, I start burping.
This one right here. Need Tyler to have a game and shut down Brown.
It's because you show up drunk.
What, I wish.
Tyler's going to have a fucking another shitty game, I think.
Week 3. That was week 3, right? Yeah, it was
I think that's the worst matchup on offense right there. It's right down the fucking pipe. Corey Davis from the Jets lit Carolina up.
First half, we ran the ball 60% of the time and threw it 40% of the time. Upside down to what I want.
Yeah.
But it was working, so I had no issue with it.
Uh-huh.
And then the second half, yeah, we threw it a little bit more. We threw it 45% of the time and ran it 55% of the time.
Yeah.
That's all.
I mean, everything was there, right?
It's when you're fucking see the run the down ball, people come out and bang their chest, and I want to hit them in their fucking mouth because they're see, I told you. And I tell you this: if the fucking defense plays like they play the other day, and they get fucking turnovers and score them fucking on them turnovers, then yes, you can run the down ball all you want because you're fucking up. We was up fucking 20-7 fucking halftime. Then we was up 27-7 fucking 5 minutes into the third quarter. Yes, you're going to be able to run the ball. And when the first half, when we was running the ball and we was popping off 7-8 yards, And sure, why in the fuck are you going to stop? That doesn't happen every game. That's not going to happen every game. What I don't like is doing that, running that much, and it's not working, and just still bang your fucking head against the wall, trying to make it work in hopes. And I still won't call this guy out because I'm not going to do that. But when you tell me I don't give a shit how many yards you gain on an attempt, I just want the attempts, you're a dipshit. You're a fucking unbelievable dumbass. Because what you're saying is you just run the ball to run the ball and hope it works out in the fourth quarter. Fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. But this game we didn't have to. We was popping off 7-8 yards of carry. I mean, they was fucking killing it. And our defense was killing it. And that's another thing about time of possession. Offense isn't the only one that controls time of possession. Defense controls that shit too. Your offense can have a badass 8-minute drive, fucking just looks beautiful, and you're like, yeah, that's how you do it. Kill time of possession. Your defense comes out there and give up a 9-minute drive. Now you're behind in time of possession. You're tied 7-7. So it's not the only thing. Offense isn't the only one that controls time of possession. If your defense can't get off the fucking field, they're going to fucking lose time of possession. I don't know why people are so infatuated with time of possession and shit. But anyways, no, the other day, we did good. I had no problem with the game plan. And we came out. I mean, if you can't stop a run, then there's no reason fucking doing it. And we was mixing in good. We was mixing the pass in well with it too. So I enjoyed it. I'm never going to fucking bitch about not running the passing the ball enough for you fucking win 40 to fucking 21, whatever the final score was. I mean, obviously, whatever we did, it fucking worked, and I'm happy about it.
Yeah.
Did Lunatic comment a minute ago that he felt like the game plan needs to be the same as it was in Tampa Bay, and I would agree. I don't want to run. I don't even want to try to run. It's not going to be successful. It's just going to piss me off. Would do more like what we did in Tampa Bay with the short passes, instead of actual runs. I don't think that's really going to work out for us. If they had been a good run defense just against New York and against Houston, I would be like, yeah, let's try to run this ball and see what happens. But against Alvin Kamara, though, 8 carries and 5 yards, let's just leave that alone. Let's just go back to that Tampa Bay game plan. That sounds
well.
like
I want to defend the run here. I don't think we should either, but I don't think we ever should. But that's just me. But I want to go off what they did to Kamara and judge it like that. Fucking, they don't have our quarterback. They don't have our offensive line. They compete with what we can do in the run game. I mean,
really, since Ingram and Breeze left, it's that running offense has not been great anyway. So, I mean, Kamara's a scat back.
Pollard and fucking Zeke didn't all of a sudden find their fucking fountain of youth this year. They found the offensive line in Dak.
Yeah.
That's what the fuck they found. That's what happened last year. I wasn't hard on Zeke last year. Everybody was like, oh, Zeke lost it. No, he hasn't lost it. He is who he is. He's still a good running back. But he didn't have no offensive line, which goes back to the fucking running backs don't matter shit that I always say. You can't do anything without an offensive line. You're not going – a quarterback can make do without offensive line. You can fucking get off quick passes. You can scheme to fucking do things to help out with that. Running back needs offensive line. If you ain't got an offensive line, you ain't going to do shit. And he didn't have offensive line, and he didn't do shit. And you also need a quarterback that scares people into thinking, hell, we got to, play against the pass too. Nobody's worried about fucking Andy Dalton last year, the fucking red rifle. He was a fucking red rifle, like a toy fucking baby gun rifle. I mean, he wasn't shit. Nobody was scared of him. Nobody was scared of fucking DeGoofy or fucking Gilbert. And now Dak's back and fucking the line's back. And what do we got? We got a good fucking running game. Yeah. Imagine that. Fucking amazing how that shit works.
Mm-hmm. But I wouldn't say though that they don't have as good of a run defense as what it looks like just because Kamara didn't have his entire line. I mean, we've got Steele and Biotish out there too. So I'm just saying, plan for the defense that you're going to face. And I'm looking at this defense on paper and I'm saying, you've got to put that ball in the air. You've got to try to run very, very little and screw time of possession and keep the damn ball in the air. Now, if you want to get it way ahead and then try some runs to eat up that clock and get very little yardage and then throw it for the third down and you find a rhythm and you're getting it done, yeah, okay, I'm good for that. But Zeke and Pollard are not going to get a whole lot of yards per carry against this run defense. I just don't think they are. And the only way that they are is if we're using Nick Ralston to make a lane for them.
Or McGovern. You see that shit, man? I was impressed. And I was like, man, the big boy was getting some blocks, man. Every time he was in there, we got positive yardage. I was impressed.
Yeah, I don't think their run defense has been tested, to be honest with you. I mean,
we can say about Biotis and fucking Still.
On paper,
I'm not worried about Biotis and Still, except in the passing game. That's where they scare the shit out of me. But in the run game, Biotis ain't horrible. Where he ain't got to protect, where he can just get off the line, fucking grab somebody and fucking block and just get in the way or fucking move him an inch. And fucking Still is not horrible in the run game. Them two, I worry about the passing. Still, honestly, I'm not too worried about him anymore. But I'm with Rika. It has been 2 games, so I'm not going to anoint him to do right tackle like some people are. And,
absolutely not.
But with that said, I worry about them in the passing game. The run game, I think they're fine in. I don't worry about them in the run game.
And I'd like for us to find a way to be able to run the ball a little bit more instead of passing it so much because, like I said back, 40 minutes ago, beginning of this video, I think when you're running the ball, then you kind of make Hassan Reddick a little bit, you take away that threat of Dak ending up in the dirt with that guy. And that helps Steele out because he's not having to block as hard down there against that guy. So, I'd like to, but I just don't think I don't think that's a feasible game plan. I wouldn't go in there with that game plan. I'd go in there planning to air it out the same way you did in Tampa Bay. I'm not saying use the playbook verbatim, but dang, don't go in there. We can't run 60 and pass 40 like we did Monday night. We're going to have to flop that around and up that passing percentage quite a bit, I think.
There's lots of Panther fans coast to coast.
That's a new one.
And then we got one, Blackie George here. Says Rocky don't know what she's talking about. Welcome to the chat, Blackie.
Okay.
Got to have you on board. Hit that sub button. I bet we got a dislike on our fucking video already.
That's funny.
Anyways,
don't know what I'm talking about.
On to better news.
Nice.
Let's talk about Jack Meeker's comment. But yeah, no, overall, I'm not worried about it. But as far as run
go ahead and link your show, Blackie George. I'll go take a look at it, see if you know what you're talking about.
I think we're going to fucking. I'm not really worried about running the ball. I'd agree. I think we should come out passing, but that's me.
It should be the same fucking game plan every
I thought we should come out passing against Philly. I thought we should come out passing again. I don't give a shit what game it is.
We have Dak and fucking 20 weapons, bro. You got 20 toys and a Dak, bro.
We've been playing the old Legion of Boom, and I don't give a shit passing goddamn ball. Ball. But like I said, I think we'll be able to run better than anybody else has been on them. I think we can. We'll see how exactly. That's a good thing about fucking Killen, though. His game plans are fucking off the charts to where, used to I knew what we was going to do because we did the same fucking thing every fucking game. We never changed it up. With Killen, man, you don't know. You might think, maybe we should pass a little bit more in this game. And he just comes out running the fuck out of the ball. I also like he's willing to change in game. Like if something's not working, he'll change that shit. That's why I feel like if we do come out trying to establish a run and like Raka thinks it's not going to work, then he'll all right, fuck it. Scrap that shit. Dak go fucking tear him up. I think he goes with the flow of the game. And Dak and another thing is why everybody's comparing Dak to Peyton and fucking Drew and people. I don't think people realize how many fucking times we run the ball that it's not a run play. That Dak changes that shit at the line. Mm-hmm. That he sees 2 deep. He sees 6 or 7 in the box. And he's like, this is a good time to run the ball. Let me fucking goddamn audible this shit and let's give it to Zeke or let's give it to Pollard. I don't think people realize how many times Dak's doing that. That it's actually a pass play that he audibles into a run play. I think he sees it. I think he sees, hey, if you're going to keep your 2 safeties 20 yards back, I'm running the fucking ball. I trust my own line is going to block, and I trust my 2 running backs is going to pick up 4 or 5 yards and get us in a 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6, and then I'll fucking take care of that shit for them. So like I said, no matter what we do, as long as they fucking, if it's not working, as long as they get the fuck off of it, I'm fine with it. But I do agree with Rocky. I do think we'll be a little bit more pass happy this game at the first, and if we're tearing their ass up in a run, then maybe.
Why would you agree with me? I don't even know what I'm talking about. crazy.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it should be an interesting game.
Thank you, Yusuf. Thanks for tuning in, guy. It's great to see you.
I was just about to put that comment up there.
Major difference between Tampa game and this one, Zach Martin. It's a good point.
Yeah. Zach Martin is the difference maker.
Well, fuck, McGovern had a pretty fucking decent game.
McGovern did have a good
game. But he does help Biotish out a lot, where I don't know if McGovern does. Just having all fucking pro sitting next to you is confidence boost for Biotish. So we'll see. I don't know. I think it's the toughest matchup on offense. There is right up the fucking pipe with Brown over center there. So we'll see. But you can scheme that too. I mean, you can double that. You can, all kinds of things they can get help for that. I don't see an edge rush. I think Dak's going to have all day. I think we'll actually be able to run on them. I think it's going to be a Philly game all over again, but could be wrong. Any given Sunday or Monday or Thursday or whatever, sometime Saturday.
Whenever.
I don't think it'd be that easy. I think it could turn into that easy, especially if our defense can step up and get some turnovers and shit like that. And if they do that, then we'll turn them into points. And then if we turn them into points, then we'll run away with it.
Yeah.
You know? But the thing about turnovers is I know fucking Quinn said this week that he doesn't believe in they come in bunches, that you create them. But history tells you, Coach, that that's not true. They do come in bunches. There will always, even the leading teams every year in the fucking turnovers, there'll be a 2-3 game stretch where they don't really get any. And then they come back and get 4 or 5 in 2-3 games. Then they might not get 1 or 2 the next game. Then they do come in bunches. And that's the only thing that I do worry about this defense a tiny bit is if we're not getting turnovers, how they're going to look.
Have we peaked? Right.
If we are having to take them downfield and not get turnovers and stop them from getting an end zone, how will it look? Because right now we haven't really had to do that except against Tampa Bay. And we got turnovers in that game too. But the other 2 games we got turnovers. We really never got, I guess, San Diego challenged us, but they also got a lot of penalties on them too to help us out a little bit. Yeah. But we'll see, man. I'm not knocking the defense. Trust me, I'm fucking proud of this defense. Like, overly top proud of how they fucking played.
Yeah. You mentioned red zone. I thought they would. Yeah, you mentioned red zone, Charlie, and y'all know how stuck I am on that right now. I'm like obsessed with red zone efficiency. I took a look at it. At this point, Carolina has the lowest red zone efficiency of any of the 3 teams that we faced at 58.3%. We started off at 25, moved up to 42. After the Philly game, we've now worked our way up to 50, which is where we were last year. We've got to keep building. However, for as good as this Panthers defense is, they are horrible in the red zone. 0%. Every team that gets into the red zone scores on them. So
well, there you go, red zone Rika.
Red zone Rika.
Jets.
I love some red zone
Texans.
Efficiency. Mostly because it
30 for
bothers
30.
Eric. If I didn't know that red zone efficiency annoyed Eric, then I wouldn't give a shit about it.
So no, I don't bother me.
This is what I spend my time doing. I go back, I rewatch us,
they just
I
need
watch
context,
y'all's faces,
right?
and then I make notes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not saying the coach should go in and say, hey, look, fucking turnovers come in bunches, so y'all don't try too hard this week, so we have a couple of weeks of relaxed time, and then we can get some more next 2-3 games. I'm just saying, as what he said, that he doesn't believe that they don't come in bunches. There's 40 fucking years of history, 50, 60 years of history. They say that they do come in bunches. You typically don't turn the ball over 3-4 times every game, 2-3 times. It's just, that's not how it usually works. I mean, we'll have a lull at some time where we don't get a turnover for a game or 2. I mean, that's just, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how it happens. Goddamn cat.
Keith say, here's where you need to find Rika's articles. Yeah, you can find all of them archived at RikaMovesTheChains.com. And the article from this week, the Terrence Steele article, is the most read article in the 2-year history of my blog. So thank you, everybody who clicked it, everybody who read it. I appreciate it. I was really, really happy this week to have broke some pretty big records with that. That's a good step. Okay. So we've got only 40 minutes in. But we've got a lot of new people in the chat. So real quick, hey guys, if you haven't already, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, or even a thumbs down if you don't like it. You know, we get it. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you can be notified every time that we're on. That notification bell will also alert you to Dallas Cowboys Uncensored, which is usually on Tuesday nights, and the new Rika Moves the Chain show, which has its first episode this Wednesday at 7 Central. I'll be live, Charlie will be with me, and I will be on my bullshit. I promise. Also, hey, don't forget to look at that ticker down there. If you're a fan of t-shirts and a fan of the Cowboys, check out twistedgorilla.com. Twisted Gorilla has the best shirts online. They've got funny shirts, sarcastic shirts, and especially they've got Cowboy shirts. Every shirt is Gorilla approved. So go to twistedgorilla.com, save 15% at checkout, and let them know that you're a fan of this show, a fan of the Cowboys, and a fan of shirts when you use coupon code RIKA15. Thank you, Jack Meeker. I can't wait to see it too. No idea what I'm going to say. No clue. It's going to be a complete shit show.
Other than Darnold,
since I don't know what I'm talking about.
Other than Darnold fumbling, is he prone throwing interceptions this season? I think he's got one pick. But again, Houston, New Orleans, Jets, and the one pick was against New Orleans, the only decent defense out of the bunch. So, I mean, context.
Yeah, I they're 3-0, but they've had the games that they've had were 2-1, but we've had 2 really hard games and 1 really easy game, and we were points away from being 3-0 as well. So I'm not going to let that 3-0 record intimidate us. If they weren't facing us this week, they'd be facing somebody else, and at some point they would lose it. I will say, though, that I was really happy for Sam Darnold to have started the season 3-0. I'm happy that he seems to be doing well in Carolina. It's not like I was a fan or anything. I don't watch Jets games. It's one of those teams I just don't give a shit about unless we're playing them. But last year, I kept seeing interviews with that kid, and he looked so beat down, so mentally in a bad place. Like, just the sadness in his eyes, and it was horrible. I felt like, God, he's with a really bad organization. So to see him out of there, to go to Carolina, he looks a lot better when you see him giving interviews, and then to go 3-0, have a little bit of success, kind of a confidence booster. I was happy for Sam Darnold. But it's coming to an end tomorrow. Sorry, Sam. You'll be 3-1, but hey, that's still a damn good record. Don't get upset about it. Let's take some Prozac and move on. Let's do it.
Who is Carolina playing? The Jets, the Saints, and who else?
Texans.
All right. I've seen what kind of defenses they have that they had to go against.
Shit show, like the lunatic says.
Complete shit show.
And New
Orleans is number 3 in DVOA.
Yeah, New Orleans is the only decent defense that they faced, and 30 for 30 gave it up a couple of times and put them in bad spots, and they couldn't really do shit. Yeah, so Houston's context is needed.
Houston's number 12 in DVOA, and the Jets are number 16th in DVOA. That's who their offense faced. When Dallas is number 15th in DVOA. So we're the second worst defense they place.
Yeah.
As far as according to DVOA.
According to 3 games. I got it.
3 games in DVOA, yes.
That reminded me of something. Hold on. Let me find the name of this YouTube channel, guys. I stumbled upon gold today. Hold on. Cowboys. Let me find it.
Zach Wilson, Jameis Winston, and fucking Davis Mills or whatever the fuck his name is.
Okay. On YouTube, the Cowboys Can Fan Podcast. First of all, this show was funny as hell. But a few, I don't know, days or weeks ago, I don't know, I was just watching videos all in a row. They had an episode devoted to DVOA, and evidently, if you don't Google it just the right way, you can get some porn. And the whole episode was devoted to different ways to type in DVOA and which ways are going to get you football and which ways are going to get you pornography. It was really great. It's the Cowboys Can Fan podcast, and I suggest you check it out because I got some laugh out of it.
Jets and Texans race for worst.
Race for first overall pick.
Jags too, huh? I feel like Jags. What are they 0-3 or 0-4? Didn't they just lose again?
Yeah,
to Cincy.
Yeah, but this right here, I just want to be clear. I'm not talking about who Carolina's doing. I'm talking about what defenses Carolina's offense faced.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make a point about. Not what. How
2
good
clicks
were they?
away if you have a typo. Oh wow. How about defensive matchups? Y'all got any defensive matchups you're looking at? I think right. So you take away DJ Moore with Trayvon, right? You give CB2 a safety for Robbie and Terrence Marshall. And what do you like linebackers? You like Charlie? You like Parsons playing more defensive end, getting 50% of snaps or whatever the fuck he got?
Yeah,
his snap counts go down.
Yeah, I'm still okay with him playing deep. I mean, we're short again this week. We're short or not. He won't be there. We're short D-Law. So until we get all of them back, he's going to be playing defensive end.
Chauncey, I thought had a good game.
Yeah, so
he looked good.
What do you think game that he'll go back to linebacker at least a little bit, a few snaps maybe, but I wouldn't be surprised if they just put him sand in the dirt or put him over on the edge and say, that's your dude. Go get him.
Yeah.
So he's done good. I mean, he's played well. So they'll keep putting him out there until he doesn't do well. So yeah, I don't have a problem with it. Eventually he'll move back to Mike when we get a full rotation of defensive ends back. He'll get back to the mic and we'll be back to.
What's your take on putting guys like Chauncey and all them? Even I think Gregory was at defensive tackle. Now, predominantly pass play, so we're just getting a pass rush and trying to give them different looks. I understand it, but there were some plays where it's like, why? So what's your take on them putting everybody everywhere?
I love it. I think
because it's worked,
I think D-Law should play more. When he comes back, I think D-Law should play more defensive tackle. I think he'll be a better pass rusher from defensive tackle position, and he's already a badass run stopper, and that's not going to change anything, putting him inside. So I think he should move in more inside. I'm not saying start him anything, so nobody freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think he should take more snaps from inside. I think we have a rotation now where we got so many, not anybody great, not anybody over top, not anybody next level, but we have a bunch of good ones. We just got a bunch of people who can play the edge, can play the 3, can play the 1, can play the fucking 2. They can move all up and down the line. Keep them fresh, fucking on certain running downs. You have a package, certain pass plays. You can mix the shit up. I mean, even when fucking Parsons goes back to Mike, you still know, we now he can rush from the edge. So you could put him and D-Law on the same fucking side. You can put him over there. You can line D-Law up with hand in dirt and with fucking Parsons beside him. Then you choose what the fuck you gonna do, who you gonna take, or put him over on Gregory's side. Same thing. Who are you gonna take? I think it causes a lot of mismatches. And then like I said, you got Golston who can play both in or out. You got fucking Osa. I don't give a fuck where Osa plays. He dominates wherever he goes.
He got a little bit of defensive end in last game.
Yep. So I mean, you got him. You got Herb. Herb can play in or out.
Urban had a game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He could play in and out. You got fucking when D-Law comes back. D-Law has played in. That wouldn't be unusual. He's Rod used to put a move man on passing downs. He used to bring him in, move him to a 3-tech, and inside as a defensive tackle. I just like to see it more often. Yeah, I mean, I didn't. Gregory might not be the top. I thought he could move in, but I guess they did the other night. You can do that every once in a while, but I think he's better just mostly from the edge. But
well, I think that what they were doing is stunning a lot too. They were doing cross, one guy inside and one guy outside. So moving those little guys inside, but then doing it like a double dog, crossed where the smaller guy ends up on the outside. So
we got a bunch of young good players. You know what I'm saying? You can just move them all around. I've never been in pigeonholing somebody into a certain spot. You know what I'm saying? But this is what he is. This is what he's going. That's why I don't like off the ball linebackers. That's why I didn't like the Parsons pick. But now what they're doing with them, fuck yeah, I have no problem with the Parsons pick. If I knew that's what they was going to do to him the whole time, and just fucking unleash him, when that makes him more valuable. And you have Osa. Osa could play anywhere up and down the line. Fucking D-Law can. And that's why. Yeah, why wouldn't you use all of them? Fucking keep them fresh, keep them rotating. Fucking, put two of them on the same side, and you're like, who are we going to deal with on this one? So, yeah, I love it. I think, and I've said it from the beginning. I didn't think this defense looks right now like I thought they might look midway through the season. I thought it was going to take that long for the defense to get. I'm not anointing them yet, so I'm not one of the fans that just fucking goes crazy. Oh my God, we got the best defense. I'm not doing that shit. I'm just saying what we look like after 3 weeks and what I thought we might look like after 8 weeks. That's why I thought it would take a while for the defense to catch up, but they're catching up a lot fucking quicker than I thought they would. They're coming along a lot fucking quick, and we're doing it with fucking people hurt or out with COVID. We don't got our starting tackle in there. We don't have our starting defensive in there. We're having to use a linebacker at defensive end, which brings fucking 9 in, which I fucking hate. But fucking hell, he hasn't even done horrible. I mean, he's played above average, is about what he is, except for that one play where he jumping for the ball and the ball's 20 yards away from him. I don't know, y'all seen that on Twitter.
Yeah, we saw it.
But yeah, I mean, so
that wasn't the only shit play he had either. But hats off to him again for filling that spot because he played an okay game, and that's all we need him to do.
Yeah, we have our starting safety out. We have two safeties that didn't even play fucking football last year because of injury. That still ain't up. That's still going to get better as the year goes on because they're going to get healthier. Yeah, they're going to get in better playing shape. They're going to get more fucking in tune with the game. So we're doing all this with a bunch of injuries and a bunch of fucking people out. If we ever can get everybody back, oh yeah, the sky's the limit for this defense. I'm not saying limit like as far as top 5 defense and anything, but we can easily get to 12. Easily.
Yeah, I think we talked about it, I think, on this show right before the Tampa Bay game, that first episode where Barry Church had said he felt like this defense was going to be a top 5 defense by the end of the season. I was like, I don't know about that. After the draft, after the free agency and all the dust had settled, I was thinking like somewhere between maybe 14 and 18 in that neighborhood. I would say I would go now maybe 8 to 12. 8 to 12. It's definitely progressing faster than I thought it would. I'm still not sold on top 5 though. But it's definitely, Charlie's right. It's better. And
I do like the confusion it creates for the opposing offense because they don't know what the fuck's coming, right? They just see a bunch of guys lining up everywhere.
Them all around. Yeah.
I love that. But I think I don't think that lasts very long. I think once people catch up to the tape, I don't think that's going to last very long.
Yeah. I don't know.
With Neal being out again, I know I've said it a couple weeks in a row, and I'm going to keep hammering it, I guess, if I have to, even if I'm dead fucking wrong. But I think Micah Parsons would be best suited at the middle linebacker position, blitzing from the middle. But I understand why they're doing it. You're down a couple of defensive ends, but you're also down a couple of linebackers. So, you could use that same excuse to have him at linebacker. I want to see him do what we drafted him to do, and that was to do all the shit he's trying to do against 300 fucking pounders from the middle where he's best. I mean, look at the tape from Penn State. That's what he needs to be doing. I think he needs to be blitzing from the middle. He's got great inside moves. It's not a lot of bend there. I'm going to keep sounding like a broken record saying that, but I think just because it's been working, like we've said a few times on the show, it doesn't mean it's the right decision. I think, having guys like Gregory play defensive tackle, it worked, but that's against Philly with, injuries along that offensive front. I just don't, I don't understand it. It's working, so it works, right? But
if they come out at the beginning of the game, they got Gregory at defense tackle, I'm going to be on your side. He's just taking a few snaps there on pass plays. I don't have a problem with that. That gets your best pass rushers in there.
Yeah.
If you stick with Gregory, Parsons, Osa, and whoever's playing your one tech, which is Bo, that's not your best five pass rush. You move Gregory in, let fucking Bo get the fuck out of there. Then you bring another pass rusher in. You got better pass rushers. That's how you get all your pass rushers in. Now, if they start doing that shit on 3rd and 1, well, yeah, I'll be like, hey, what the fuck you doing, dude? But no, I don't have a problem with it, and I don't think they're going to catch up. I think people forget this ain't something real new. Rod used to do it. Mm-hmm. I've never seen Gregory movement, but D-Law moved in quite a bit and played in the middle. He did multiple times. He'd move in at defense tackle and play. So it's not that unusual. I think it's just we're doing it more. But I also think we're doing it more because we're down a lot of people. I mean, we're down our starting defense tackle. Last week was down 2 starting defensive tackles. We're down a backup defensive end. We're down another backup defensive end this week. So I think it's just a little bit of let's fucking, get our best 5 out there. And then, like I said, I think when D-Law comes back and Nye comes back, I think things will settle down. But I still hope we move them around. I still want to move them around. Because I think it's easier to get tape on when you got 4 fucking dudes in the same fucking spot every fucking time and you know where the fuck they're coming from. Well, that's pretty easy. Quarterback comes up, D-Law's over there. We know what he's going to do. That guy, okay, we know. But when they start moving him around and doing crazy shit, I think it confuses them a little bit.
And when you switch them up too, right there on the line, when you have players that are versatile enough to be able to do that, especially when you get some of these younger quarterbacks like Herbert and Jalen Hurts, it confuses them at the moment. They can't read the defense. And the Chicago Bears did that quite a bit from 85 to 88. They had, sometimes the linebacker was an edge and the edge was a defensive tackle, and then the linebacker was a defensive tackle, and they were all over the place and nobody knew where it was coming from. So you can use that as a tool and a weapon if your players are versatile enough to do so. So I like that they're doing it a little bit. I like it.
Well, all the Ryans do that. Ryan, Rex, well, maybe not necessarily Rob. He ain't that good. But Rex, that's why his defense was always badass.
Yeah.
He had versatile people that lined up everywhere and just came from all fucking different spots on the field. But they played 3-4, so there was a lot of zone blitzes and different shit that, they have 7 people up at the line of scrimmage and you're trying to figure it out, and all of a sudden, snap of the ball, you have fucking 350-pound nose tackles dropping back as a linebacker, and fucking linebackers coming in on a rush. He used to do crazy shit. Always loved his defenses. That's why when we got his brother, I thought, hell yeah, and his brother sucked ass.
Yeah,
his
you're not gonna.
His brothers didn't get that daddy gene like fucking his daddy had.
Yeah.
But fucking.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to fool a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers easily with some moves like that. But those younger guys who are still learning to read a defense, when you take them and you mix up the players and they've only got so many seconds before they have to get that snap off and they're not able to read it, they're going to screw up. It's in the comments, Michael's versatile. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just trying to catch up the comments here.
DJ, do you know that for a fact, or are you just thinking or guessing that or saying that's what they're going to do? Do they run 21 and 22 a lot? I haven't looked that up yet.
Super methodical, slow, short yardage, no big chunks. Unless they have to, right? They're down long. But, yeah, they're slow. They really, I'm surprised that they got rid of. I know that they needed corner help, right? They lose J.C. Horn, a player that caliber, and they go and get C.J. Henderson. But I'm surprised they gave up Dan Arnold. I know it's a fucking weird thing to say. He's not a huge name or anything, but the kid was Sam's, fucking security blanket.
They run
third or fourth.
They run 21 personnel 11% of the time, and they run 22 9% of the time.
Yeah, they're not a one back 12.
They're just like most offenses in the NFL. Their main personnel grouping is 11. They run it 52% of the time. They run a lot of 12 though. They run 23% of the time. They run out of 12. So there's that. 21 personnel. They ran 23 times this whole season. 22 they've ran 18 times. Their success rate in 22 personnel on pass plays is 50%. Darnold's passer rating, which I'm not big on passer rating, but his passer rating is 70. He has they haven't ran it. They only got 2 dropbacks, so I don't really want to go off that. They run the ball a lot out of it. They run the ball 80. Damn. They run the ball 89% of the time out of 22 personnel, and their success rate is 19%. So I'm sorry, I'm not really scared of that offense. At least when they're running out of 22.
Especially when 22 is not in the game.
They average not 8, 0.8 yards per carry out of 22 personnel. Out of 21 personnel, wow, that's kind of amazing. That's kind of weird. That shit doesn't even change. Out of 21 personnel, they run the ball 70% of the time for a 31% success rate, which ain't that great, for 4.3 yards a carry. But they do pass out of 21 personnel, and they got a 57% success rate. Sam Darnold is 5 of 7 for 102 quarterback rating. No sacks, 9.7 yards per attempt, 7.5 air yards per attempt. So they're pretty decent at passing out of 21 personnel. But that's also when they had McCaffrey too.
Yeah, exactly. The one game.
Right? Yeah, that limits them a little bit.
A lot.
Yeah. So,
he's one of those guys that'll turn nothing into something. Their deep receiver only has 5 catches in 3 games, and they like Tommy Tremble. So Tommy Tremble has had 1 target, has 1 catch for 30 yards, and a rushing TD. They went to Dan Arnold a lot. I'm telling you. I was forced to watch their stupid fucking games because of fantasy. So they're going to miss Dan Arnold, bro. They're going to. I'm telling you. It's a great matchup for us. I love the fucking matchup. I'm excited. How about fucking Anger? God, he's averaging like 50 a fucking boot.
I love that signing.
Segue into fucking special teams here, but
yeah, when we signed him, I was like, hell yeah, because he was a good punter. I'm surprised Texans. I don't know what happened with him and the Texans. I don't know if they found a better punter or maybe he just had, punters kind of like kickers. Sometimes they go through a little lull where they just suck ass for whatever reason, get mental issues. But I always thought he was a good punter. That's why I was excited when we signed him. I don't really get too excited with punters, don't get me wrong. But I thought it was a good signing.
Hey, we've needed one for a while.
Well, yeah, we needed one for Jones. I always loved Jones, but he got last 2 or 3 years, man.
He's been downhill.
Fucking awful.
Under 40 yards.
He had a lot of issues, injury issues and shit like that. Mm-hmm. To a point where I think it's probably I don't think he'll ever punt again. But yeah, we need a new one. We got a good one. That motherfucker booms him, and when you're in person and you see it in person, it's a lot more impressive. Yeah, when you see that motherfucker kicking in person, even my son was like, "Damn, that was a good kick."
How close do they get to the TV nowadays? I know they raised it, right? When it first hung that bitch?
Nah, they only raised it a little bit that one time. They don't get that close. Before the game starts, though, every one of them out there trying to punt
trying to hit that motherfucker. Just Jerry Jones.
Oh, yeah, they hit it. Angry hit it probably 6-7 times. I mean, but they stand right underneath it. They're playing. I mean, hell, it was the Eagle, punter, and Anger both sitting there trying to kick and hit the fucking top.
Yeah.
It was just them out there having fun. And fucking even Greg the Leg and their kicker was having, I guess, I don't know if it's competition, but they went in there and hugged each other and talked, and they was kicking the same field goals. Like they moved back, he kicked, they kicked. I guess they was having some kind of competition. Yeah. It was pretty cool to see. Hey, Frankie Kenneth. Hey. I've never seen him in here. Cool.
Thank you, Frankie, for joining.
Yeah.
Got a lot of them tonight. TJ Dogs, cool. Good to see you. Jack Meeker.
I'm not even going to say good to see Lunatic. God damn, Charlie. I did sound like I was fucking drinking on that one. Sound like I was trying to say his name in Spanish. I'm Lunatic.
All right.
What's the deal with the clock management at the end of halves and shit?
Yeah.
I hate to jump backwards here, but
no, yeah.
there's 2 games in a row where this dude has fucked up some shit.
Mm-hmm. And when you're
and there's no excuse, man. I mean, we're at home this time, so the whole clock bullshit. The clock didn't go out this time, bro. We pay the bills in Dallas.
Right.
There's
and the clock was right
fuck?
there. I could see it. I don't know why the hell he couldn't.
What was weird about that, dude, is I never even paid attention to the time. When we got the ball back, I think it was like 5 minutes left. So I was just like, all right, stop, and we had plenty of time to go score. So as the plays was going, I wasn't even looking at the clock. I was just watching the game because I love being live at the game because it's like watching all 22 fucking live. Like I don't even look at the Jumbotron. I watch the play on the field. And so I was watching that, and I wasn't paying attention to the time, anything. And me and my son was
I don't think McCarthy was either, man.
And then when they punted, and I saw we only had like 10 seconds left, I was like, what the fuck happened all the time? In my mind, I'm like, damn, we didn't call a timeout that whole time.
Not one.
A couple times, yeah, I was like, that was the only bad thing about watching live. I don't pay attention to everything. I get so zoomed in on the play on the field.
It's busy as fuck at the stadium, bro.
You know,
and even when you're far ahead, and you're like, well, they're not going to catch up anyway. We don't have to worry about the time management. You should do it anyway. You should get in that practice. You should develop good habits, even when you don't need to manage the clock. Do it anyway.
But see, last time I thought it was a fuck up. This time it wasn't a fuck up. This time he meant to do it. He was okay. He was okay. I mean, they could have called timeout at 40 seconds. The referee went over there and asked him, "Hey, you want a timeout?" And he said, "No, I'm good." That's what makes me mad. That's what. And I'm a McCarthy fan, but that you don't go into halftime with the 27 league against any team and think, "Okay, I'm good." When you have that much time left on the clock, it's fucking
especially
stupid.
If they're getting the ball back. This could be a chance to completely crush them.
And just like I told my son, if that pick six didn't happen, if they went down there and scored, that game changes.
One score game.
Right. It's a one score game and everything fucking changes. And like I said, I'm a McCarthy fan. But that right there, I don't know. I would say it's conservative, but he's one of the most aggressive coaches in the NFL on going for and fourth down. So he's not conservative. I don't know what his train of thought was there. Or saying I'm okay with going in to the halftime with the 20. Like if he fucked up and didn't realize what time it was, or the clock went out, whatever it was, the game before that, that'd be one thing. But he actually just, fuck, dude, the ref went. You want a timeout? He's like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, don't worry about it. We got this. That's what bothers me. It's like, why would you want to go in to halftime when that team is getting? If we was getting the ball back the second half, I might have been okay with it. Because I might have been like, okay.
You're better with it. You're not okay with it, but you're better with it.
I'm better with it. I've been like, okay, I get his train of thought. You don't want to get the ball back. Something bad happens. They score. And then you get the ball back. You have to score that on. I can make a reasoning up. I can reason with it. But there's no reasoning on this. There was zero. It was just bad decision not to fucking call timeout and get the fucking ball back. I can't. Sometimes I can defend guys, especially guys I like. I can make some kind of defense for him. I can't defend him on that one.
Even a field goal makes it 3-possession game, right? Yeah, no, so you're 20-7, 20, whatever the fuck it was, 20-7. So 23-7.
Be 20-37. Yeah, no. There's no excuse for it. There was none whatsoever. It was a fuck up, and there's no other way. There's no other way. I can't defend it. Like I said, usually when I'm a fan of somebody, I'll find every way I can to defend it. But if I look like an idiot doing it, I won't do it. And if I try to defend that, I'll look like an idiot. So there's no reason for me to defend it. It was fucked up. But overall, people are saying they needed, they want more in as a coach, get rid of McCarthy. We can go in that discussion if you want.
Yeah, let's do that, because I was just fixing to ask you, what's your take on that shit? So, right, Mike's getting all the fucking heat. And everybody's talking about Moore's going to leave, right? Moore's going to get a fucking job somewhere. We need to pay him now. What's your take on it? You think they fire Mike even after, the start we've had?
There's conversations going on Twitter that really absolutely fucking amazes me. People are wanting to fucking fire McCarthy.
Week 3, bro.
At the end of the year, regardless of what happens. Like, there was actually one person who said that if they win the fucking Super Bowl, yes, they would still consider firing McCarthy for Moore so they won't lose more. I'm like, fuck? Dude, what? And I can't even get in a conversation on Twitter because I suck at Twitter, and that right there doesn't deserve one of those 140 character tweet. That deserves one of two things: me saying simply you're a dipshit, or me going into a long 4-page fucking tweet explaining why you're a dipshit.
Make a
Bro, you
thread,
don't
bro.
fucking fire him. I mean, not after 3 fucking games. No, I don't even know why people's even having this fucking conversation. As far as losing more, no, I don't want to lose more. But I'm not firing my fucking head coach for a guy that you don't even fucking know if he's going to be a good head coach.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't get it. It's like what I would do is I'd be like, all right, more, I'm going to offer you this much money. I'm going to tell McCarthy, hey, dude, your offensive coordinator is probably going to make more money than you do. We're going to give him about $4 million more than you to keep him here.
And the promise of the reins when you're gone.
And the promise of the reins. That's what you do. But if you can't keep him that way, you don't fire. If you go to NFC Championship game, or you go to playoffs, or even worse, you go to, or better, I should say, you go to the Super Bowl, how in the fuck do you fire your fucking head coach to keep a guy that you have no clue how he's going to be able to run the fucking whole team?
Yeah.
How many times have we seen? Hell, dude, we have a defensive coordinator on our team right now that is a great defensive coordinator, but not a very good head coach. How many times have we seen fucking offense and defense coordinators get jobs and they just aren't very good head coaches? Some people are made to be head coaches. Yeah. Some people are made to be offensive defense coordinators. And there's some people just made to be position coaches. Like Rob Marinelli, he's made to be a defensive tackle coach. That's what he was put on earth to do. He's not a very good coordinator. He's average at best at that, and he sucks ass as a head coach. But he's great at fucking coaching the defensive line. That's what. But I'm black. Oh, okay.
We need to make a counter, bro.
About 32, dude.
32. It's a good number.
Just a guess.
Over under.
No, I don't get it. And I love Moore. Me and Eric's talked about Moore for a couple of years now. I love fucking Moore. But I'm not willing to fire. If we suck in this year and the season falls apart, fuck yeah, fire him. Fucking put Moore in. But if we do good and we go to the NFC Championship game, we go to Super Bowl where we have a great season, I'm sorry, I'm not firing fucking Mike over. I'm not. I don't know what Moore. I don't know how Moore is going to react to a whole team. He's not. He's great at calling plays. There's a difference between calling plays and leading a fucking team.
Managing a team, right?
And managing the team and I'm just not willing to do that. And one other point I made. Somebody also said on Twitter, and this fucking really blows my mind. Eric knows how I feel about this. It blows my mind because that guy said, we don't need to lose more like we lost Sean Payton. And I'm like, holy fucking shit. We have Sean Payton as a head coach right now. Mike McCarthy is Sean Payton. Look up their shit. They both had Hall of Fame quarterbacks.
One Super Bowl
ring. Both only got one Super Bowl. Both have won almost identical amount of games. Both been to run the same amount of NFC Championship games.
Both have had a bomb-ass quarterback their entire career.
Both have more, like about the same amount of play. They're fucking identical through their whole fucking career. All right. But for some reason, Mike McCarthy gets blamed for wasting Aaron Rodgers' career. But fucking Sean Payton never gets blamed for fucking wasting Drew Brees' career. Why is that? Why does Sean Payton, why is he the little lover boy in the NFL and fucking McCarthy takes so much shit about Aaron Rodgers? That's why I'm saying we have fucking, I just don't understand the love fest for fucking Sean Payton. He is a great offensive coordinator. He's a great mind. And if you want to talk about time management problems, you don't want Sean Payton. Ask a true Saints fan that is realistic and fucking not some fanboy, and they'll tell you he's not very good at clock management. He gets a lot of shit from Saints fans about his clock. Dude, 3 years ago when we beat them 13-10, if you remember ending the game, he totally clusterfucked his time. With 2 minutes left, even Troyman is like, what is he doing? Why did he call a timeout? Or why did he call a timeout? I can't remember how it went, but I remember thinking, I'm glad he did that.
Yeah.
He's done that his whole career. So, and this is another thing about clock management. Andy Reid, Philadelphia fans hated Andy Reid because of his clock management. Before fucking Patrick Mahomes got there, Kansas City fans didn't like Andy Reid too much because of his clock management. They all bitched about it. Now he has Mahomes and fucking have 5 seconds left. The motherfucker is going to win you the game more times than not. So your clock manager can suck and he'll pull you out. But every coach is going to get bitched at about clock management. They all make mistakes in clock management. We just focus in on Mike because that's our guy. That's the team we pull for. Right. But no matter who you hire, at some point you're going to bitch about their clock management. I'm 47 years old. I've gone through what now? 8, 9 head coaches. Not one motherfucking coach have I'm not bitched about because I thought his clock management sucked at some point. Not
2
one.
games in a row.
Gary Switzer, Jimmy Johnson. I'll tell you this right now, and Keith can back me up on this. There was times in 92 that I bitched about how Jimmy Johnson managed the clock. Like, what the fuck are we doing? Or their play calling being too conservative and shit like that. Fans are going to bitch no matter what. We're going to bitch. We're going to find something wrong about clock management or fucking play calling or some bullshit. That's what we do. That's what we're supposed to do. We're fucking fans, But no matter who you hire, they're going to have clock management problem at some time. They're going to do something to piss you off, and then the dipshits are like, "Oh, we need to fire him. You fucking get him out of here." But yeah, no, I don't understand.
I don't see how you don't have an analytics guy right fucking next to you. Be like, what's the call here? It's fucking 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. They got a 2nd and 10. Do we call a fucking timeout if they run it? Do we stop the clock? Do we try to get it back? I don't understand how you don't have a guy, because most of the times, if you just listen to the fucking broadcast, who's ever on the broadcast, they know what the fuck it is they should do. Tony, I mean, obviously Tony's a quarterback and he's probably a little bit better than most as far as being an announcer and shit and predicting shit, but he called it. The fucking guy who was calling that fucking game last week called it. I mean, it's not some secret, What's the fucking call here? What does the analytics tell you? Now, if it's close, it's a coin flip, then I ain't gonna be fucking mad at you if you choose the wrong one or whatever. But
I don't even put one. And I'm
if my dumbass knows that why call a timeout? I'm screaming at the fucking TV. Call a goddamn timeout. What are we doing? We can get this ball back and fucking shove it down their fucking throat. We can end this game at halftime. And I don't understand why you don't have a fucking guy there. If that's the case, if you need that, if you have trouble with that kind of stuff, I don't know.
Yeah, dude,
it shouldn't be an issue.
I was live at the game, so I didn't see it, but I saw the replay of it. They had the highlights of it. Yeah, no, everybody was, and like I said, I can't defend him. I mean, it was a bad, but the thing about it was, he didn't do it as a mistake as, like, he didn't see the clock or he lost time. He just did it because that was his decision from the get-go. Like, no, I don't want the ball back. I don't want to. That's what irritates me. I can handle it if you make a mistake, like if you lose the time or if you thought something, something. But if you just flat out say, yeah, I didn't think it was important for us to get the ball back, then I want to slap the shit out of you. And I want to ask you why. What made you think it's okay to go into halftime with the 27 lead?
Did anybody bring it up in the PC? The only comment that I saw out of it.
No, they asked, and he just said that he just felt like he was comfortable with the 27 lead. And that's not good enough for me. That's not good enough, bro. That's not good enough. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Even he even had a ref go up to him and look at him like, hey, do you want to call a timeout? And McCart's like, no, I'm good. You can read this up. He's like, no, I'm good. I mean, even the ref knew, hey, they usually call timeouts in this situation, so let me go make sure he's not going to call one. He even knew that he's reffed enough games knowing this is when teams call timeout. Is
Kellen not saying something in the fucking mic? Hey, we should call a timeout here.
Kellen, I mean, I don't know. I don't.
What about Dak? Dak's got a lot of say on this fucking team. Hey, bro, call a timeout right here. I can fucking drive us down and at least get a field goal.
Well, it's pretty loud in there. I doubt he could fucking hear him. So,
he's on the sideline, same sideline. We were on defense at the time. He could have been right next to him. Hey, call a timeout right here. I can get this ball back. We could drive this bitch down the fuck field. Something. Who is? I don't know. I don't get it. Everybody else was screaming it. Why not him? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I guess I got to go back and watch the PC to see exactly what the fuck he said. But
yeah, I think a lot of it. I think a lot of it got washed underneath, and nobody said too much about it because we did win.
We win, right? Yeah, so who cares?
But if you lose,
when it comes back and bites you in the ass,
you're going to get ate alive by the fans and the media.
And let's correct it now. Let's correct it now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, like I said, it was bad. Like I said, I like Mike. I'm a fan of Mike. He was my hire. The one
I am too.
I fucking had a decision,
but all for the reason.
But fucking, you know what I mean. He was my guy, the one I wanted hired. But yeah, I mean, but like I said with anybody, dude, I don't give a shit who you are. If I like you, no. If you fuck up, you fuck up. I'm gonna call you out on it. Just like Dak, you ain't gonna find a bigger Dak fan than me. But when he doesn't play well, I have no problem. I've never been on a show like this since this happened, but he'll have a bad game some point this year, and I'll come on here and I'll say, hey, he fucking sucked. He didn't play good enough. I mean, I have no problem with it. I mean, just because I'm also going to crucify the guy and fucking want a new quarterback because he fucked up. I'm not going to want a new fucking coach because he fucking fucked up and didn't call a timeout.
Fire him and hire more. Fuck it.
But yeah, as far as Moore goes, yeah, I just it amazes me that people since he's such a good offensive coordinator, and mind you, let me remind you of this. It was last year, but especially in 2019, a lot of fans did not like him as offense coordinator. Did not like his play calling. People bit, and last year, after Dak got hurt for like 5 games, people railroaded fucking Moore. How bad he was.
Look how
His play
limited
calling
you were,
sucked.
man.
And I was trying to tell everybody, like, Jesus Christ, he's got number 4 fucking left tackle, number 5 right tackle, number 2 fucking right guard, fucking number 2 or 3 or 4 fucking goddamn
QB.
quarterback, fucking a defense that ain't worth a shit. There's only so much you can do with play calling. I mean, you got to have some kind of talent, somebody who can run the plays. And that was just last year. And now all of a sudden, after 3 games, and he's been on the money. Now motherfuckers want to goddamn fire McCarthy and keep fucking Moore as a head coach. And like I said, you don't know how he's going to be as a head coach. You don't know. You have no fucking clue how he's going to. You just because you can call plays doesn't mean you can lead a team. I'm not saying he can't. Don't think I'm saying he can't. I'm saying nobody knows, and that's a hard thing about hiring a coach because you never know. They might turn into McVay and be a great head coach, or they might. I'll give you another example: Norv Turner for fucking the Cowboys, one of the best offensive coordinators in the NFL, actually throughout his whole career. He sucked as a head coach.
Yeah.
Couldn't fucking goddamn coach worth of shit. But put him as offense coordinator, his offenses are great. Some people are just made to do it. And I'll say it again. Dan Quinn was not a good head coach, but he's a badass fucking defense coordinator. Some people are made for it, some people not.
That's exactly my point, the lunatic. Mike still leaves us questions about him. Not a good sign in a close game. Wait till it bites you in the ass, and they'll be like, "Well, fuck, we knew about this issue. You know, we had practice earlier in the season, and we fucked up. So why did we get it corrected?"
Does anybody know for certain that Kellen Moore even wants to be a head coach?
I don't know if you promise him the fucking reins in however many years.
But there's a reason that I asked that question. Charlie loves it when I mention the blog. Back during the summer, I wrote a blog about Kellen Moore.
Jesus,
you can find it at RikaMovesTheChains.com. Listen, I spent a couple weeks looking at Boise State tape and old interviews and reading about Kellen Moore, and some things that I found super interesting about him. When he was a little boy, he carried a spiral notebook and a pencil in his pocket, and he would constantly draw up plays, and his mom would be doing the laundry and she would find all these pieces of paper covered in X's and O's and arrows, and that's what he did.
Yeah.
And before his senior year at Boise State, he gave an interview with John Gruden. It was about probably about an hour long. I watched it on YouTube. He was so young and baby-faced, 21-year-old Kellen Moore. And in the middle of this interview, Kellen gets up. They're inside a classroom or something at Boise State, gets up, finds a piece of chalk, and starts drawing up plays and telling Gruden things that he thinks would work, and he's doing this. I'm thinking there's just this natural aptitude. There's something about that he likes, and maybe being a head coach isn't for him. Maybe he's found something that he loves, and this is what he wants to do. It's something he's obviously done his whole life, and he wouldn't get to do that as much if he were a head coach. He might be able to be a head coach that calls the plays. Some of them do, but he'd have to give up a little bit to be effective and still manage the defense. He may not want to do that.
And all the good young ones do.
Well, that's a good point. This is what I was going to say. I forgot to even add this. Now, first, him being a head coach, I think probably 95% of
every coach wants to be a head coach.
They just want it. I mean, that's just kind of it's the step up. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't mention was what you said about calling plays. If you make him a head coach and he calls plays, will he be as good? Because he's just not fucking calling plays. He's managing the clock.
He's going to have all those other things on his plate.
He's had a lot of shit on his plate. And if you do give up play calling so you can do them things, then you just lost your offense coordinator. So why don't you keep him? You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying is like, I'm not saying he can't be a good head coach. That motherfucker might be a head coach and go to Super Bowl and become the next Bill Belichick. And I'm not saying he can't. I'm just saying I'm not going to fucking – let me say this. After 3 fucking games, I don't want to get in a conversation about firing fucking McCarthy and keeping Kellen Moore. But we got fucking 14 more games left and we're already having this fucking conversation. You know, I think it's fucking ridiculous that we're having this conversation with 14 fucking weeks to play.
Yeah.
No, wait till the end of the year and I'll have it with you. Wait till we go 6-4 fucking 11, and then I'll have the conversation. Or wait till we get to the NFC Championship game, and I won't have the conversation because I'm going to tell you, no, you're a fucking dipshit. I'm not even going to have this conversation with you. You just don't do it. It's just, you don't know. You do everything you can to keep him. Everything. If it means paying him more than Mike McCarthy, pay him more than Mike McCarthy. I don't think Mike McCarthy's going to give a shit. And if he does, fuck him, fire him, and put Kellen Moore as head coach.
Kellen's making him look good.
Yeah. So exactly. So no, I do everything you can to keep him. And this is the thing: Jerry Jones is a salesman. I don't like him a lot of things he does, but the dude can sell. And if anybody could talk Kellen Moore that it was the best decision for him not to take another job and to stay with the Cowboys, Jerry Jones would be the one to do it. I remind you of this too. For two reasons, I remind you. There was a guy named Jason Garrett that had about the same experience that Kellen Moore did. The same experience. Led the fucking Cowboys to like the top 5 offense in 2007. Looked fucking great. Fucking play calling was great. Man, well, I didn't think it was great. Everybody else did. All this shit was going on. He's passed up in 2008. He passed up a job. He could have had Baltimore Ravens wanted him. They didn't want fucking Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Garrett was their first choice. He stayed with the Cowboys. Jerry Jones talked him into staying with the Cowboys. That's number 1 point. So Jerry can talk Kellen in the stand. Number 2 point is be careful what you wish for. Just because they fucking good play callers and fucking great at doing that job doesn't mean they're going to be a fucking great head coach. Like I said, fucking Kellen Moore and fucking Jason Garrett about have the same kind of fucking timeline or how many years they coach, same production as far as how good their offenses was. And I'll tell anybody who's fucking tries to tell me, well, his offense sucked. In 2007, nobody was saying that. I was one of the very few fucking people, Keith Price will back me on this, that said his offense sucked. That his offense was conservative. I hope they want to change it, and he never fucking did. He stuck with it for the next 10 fucking years, 13 years, however long he stayed here. Every other Cowboy fan loved his offense. Every time I said his offense, I don't like his offense, they were like, well, we average fucking 30 points a game, 400 yards a game. Why are you fucking bitching? Because we have fucking all-star players. We should average that with a goddamn wishbone offense. It shouldn't matter when you have that much fucking talent. That's why we fucking did that. So, like I said, just be careful what you fucking wish for when you want to fire your fucking head coach. But if fucking McCarthy has a year like fucking None Nuts did, you got Kellen Moore sitting in their wing, move him up and see what he can do. But if he has success, I'm not fucking firing him. Not to bring in the fucking offense coordinator that we have no clue how he was going to be as a head coach. That's just my opinion.
If they do make him head coach, you better still be calling plays.
Yeah, and I think he will, but
I don't care.
I hope he does. But once you start calling plays, you still.
But we're starting to see that anyway in the league.
You got to take care of other shit too. Jason Garrett had to unleash it after 3 years because they're like, hey, fuck this. This ain't working. Let somebody else call the plays. You take care of the whole fucking team because it takes away. If you're calling plays and you're the one doing it, it takes a lot of time away from you. Of doing shit that you're supposed to be doing as a head coach. And I don't know. And this is another thing about Kellen. This is unfair for me to say because I don't know him in the locker room. I don't know him personally. I'm not around him. I know the players love him, but he doesn't seem like a forceful.
You wouldn't run into a brick wall for him.
Yeah,
he's not getting you pumped up.
Yeah, he doesn't seem like an inspiring,
right.
coach or just,
Right.
he looks like a fucking Pizza Hut delivery boy.
He's not going to smash a watermelon for you.
Yeah. I mean, and I'm not saying all that shit works because numbnuts Rashard. Everybody loves Rashard because he screamed. Fuck, well, we need him as a head coach because he screams everybody. Tony Dungy never cussed, never said a bad word. He was a great coach. So, I mean, you can do it. There's different ways of doing it. So Kellen can maybe do it his way and still be okay. But he still does just come off as a head coach to me yet. I don't know. But that's not fair because I don't know him. It's not like I'm in the locker room with him and I see him on an everyday basis. That's just coming from a fan point, seeing him on interviews, seeing him on press conferences. I just don't look at him thinking, that dude right there is going to be a great head coach. I just don't look at him that way. But motherfucker can call some plays.
Yeah. To bring up earlier, the lunatic had brought up how he was getting kind of cute.
Yeah. In
Kellen Moore
the red zone.
Cute in the red zone, reverse inside the 5. Not only that one, but then the empty set at your own goal line, and then it ends up we all know what happened there. But I didn't like that play call either. At least run it out. You got fucking Zeke. Get a couple yards out of the fucking end zone. You know what I mean? Before you start slinging it. I understand you're probably going to have a third down, and you're going to have to throw it. But yeah, I didn't like the play call there either. But it's nitpicking at this point. Everything we're doing basically on this show is nitpicking. Me on the defensive side of the ball, Ryko with her knack or the shtick on fucking steel, and it's all nitpicking at this point because what we're doing is working. Whether it's because of what they're doing or just happenstance, we're just nitpicking because that's all we can do as fans, right? We're gonna find every fucking little nook and cranny and flaw and everything, but for the most part, everybody's doing their job pretty well, in my opinion. So
yeah, there's people on Twitter fucking saying we won by 20 or whatever, and there's people bitching. I'm not saying, dude, we're not bitching, but I'm not the type of fan that's just going to have a fucking win and just get all giddy.
You can still
inside.
learn from wins.
Yeah, I'm not going to get all giddy inside, just come on my show or go on Twitter and just praise everybody that they did fucking great. I'm going to look at the whole thing, and there's going to be some bad things. Yeah. There's going to be some things on that I wasn't impressed with. It doesn't mean it wasn't an impressive win. Fuck you. I wish I would have recorded me and my son. That's the first time my son ever hugged me, since he was a kid. When they fucking scored, what was I think it was a Dalton Schultz touchdown at the very end. Because Trey caught it. Like, Trey jumped up before Dak even passed the ball. Trey jumped up, he's open. And fucking boom, he took it. And I jumped up, and he fucking jumped, hugged me. I called it. I told you. And shit like that. I was, so, I mean, hell, I was happy as fuck, man. But I'm still going to, there's still, nobody's perfect. We can still be critical of the fucking team, and even after a fucking good win, so yeah, that's.
Look, with this comment here, last year reports were that players like Kellen Moore more than McCarthy. I can see that because I think he's more relatable. He's younger, with everything outside of the fucking football. I'm pretty sure he's probably got a better, grip around. I don't see, McCarthy checking out anybody's gram or, whatever the fuck. Kellen Moore's younger guys. Most of the, some of those guys in that locker room are older than him. So
Andy Dalton played him in college.
Right.
They played each other in a fucking bowl game.
He was on the same team as Dak. This guy just played. He just ended his career not too long ago. Okay, so I think he's more relatable to the guys. I'll give him that, but that doesn't necessarily equate to being boss either. Sometimes having your friend as the boss is the worst fucking thing.
Being a middleman is a lot easier too. Having a coach yell and scream and having an offense coordinator, hey, don't worry about it. You're all doing good.
Right.
Well, he's like the middleman. He's like the bad cop, not a good cop. He can be the good cop as a fucking head coach. You can't be the good cop.
Go talk to your guy or I'm going to fucking kill him. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's shit like that. So, and as far as the reports go, two things about reports. One, who said it?
Who said
and
it?
How many people said it? Was that one guy that said it? Was it one guy? Was it somebody who just don't like Mike McCarthy and say, yeah, locker room don't like him. They like killing more. So I'm always leery of reports about like this. I'm always, who's your source? How many sources did they get it from? Fucking, why did they say it? Who fucking said it? It could be anything. Second thing is people might be surprised about this, but a lot of people like Jason Garrett on that team. And I know fucking Dak did, and Dak didn't want him fired. Dak wasn't happy about him getting fired. All right. So when you bring a new coach in, Kellen is that's Dak's boy. So I think Dak's going to naturally like Kellen more than he probably likes Mike. But now you got a new guy coming in wanting to change things, but you got your boy that's going to keep it the same. So yeah, I can easily. I'm not saying the report ain't true, but I'm with Eric. I can easily see fucking everybody liking more people liking Kellen than they like fucking Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy's he's not a Cowboy. Kellen, even though was with Detroit, but he kind of grew up in the Cowboy system. You know what I'm saying? He was there for a while. He was there with most of these players. They know him. Hell, he quarterbacked the fucking team just in 2015. I mean, he was D-Law's teammate. He was Tyron Smith's teammate. He was fucking Zach Martin's teammate. And now he's their fucking coach. So I can see all of them liking him. I mean, they have a relationship and shit like that. I can see him liking more than the coach. But I'm with Eric. Just because they like you more don't mean you're going to be a good coach.
Yeah.
Because at some point you got to call your fucking boys out. At some point you can't.
You got to be the asshole.
Yeah,
and if
you're
asshole
sometimes
best friend, you can't be asshole. You know what I mean? You can't be both. It's hard to be both.
I can.
It's true.
But yeah, no. But and I say all this, and people, and then I know it's going to sound like I'm coming off anti-Kellen Moore. I'm not. I don't. My thing is, I just don't know if he's going to be a good head coach, and I don't want to talk about it after 3 games. But even at the end of the season, and we do good, and we go to NFC Championship, Super Bowl, I don't think there should be a conversation about firing fucking Mike McCarthy and hiring Kellen as a. You just won a Super Bowl, or you just got that far with that coach. I'm not so sure Kellen Moore is going to be the guy to take you that one step further, but he could be. But that's a chance you're going to have to fucking take.
Yeah.
You know, I think you do everything you can to keep him, you know, and make sure you don't lose him. And I think Jerry can do that. He did it with Jason Garrett. Like I said, Baltimore wanted fucking Jason Garrett. I'm sure Baltimore fans are real fucking happy they ended up with Harbaugh, but that's who they wanted. They wanted Garrett. And Garrett said no. And Garrett stayed with the Cowboys because Jerry Jones talked him into. A couple years later, Garrett's the fucking head coach, and we know what happened since then. So be careful what you wish for, people, when you want offense coordinator to take over for your head coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, people can say now his offense sucked, but nobody was saying that in 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. Nobody. They all loved that fucking offense. Everybody loved that offense. Very few people was like me that was calling out the conservative fucking 22 fucking routes in one goddamn fucking play call. 22 curl routes. Everybody was calling that out. Yeah, I called it out. Fucking, you know,
everybody running curls.
Yeah, I'm not even trying to call Eric out about this. But in 2017, when fucking Dak wasn't having as good a year, and fucking everybody was like, fucking Dak did. I was like, dude, it's the fucking offense. He no longer has Dez as a number 1 wide receiver because Dez was washed. I said, in this offense, you have to have that guy.
Yeah.
And fucking Eric, I could probably pull Eric's like, nothing wrong with offense. Offense is fine. No, dude, the fucking offense ain't fine. It's fucking curl routes.
I was wrong.
It's 4 or 5 curl routes every fucking play. You know, it's boring. It's 1990 bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
We got to fucking do more than this. You know, and I like I said, I'd call it out in 2007. And I got so much shit when I used to talk shit about Jason Garrett in 2007, 2008. Because he did. I mean, we had a great offense, scoring 30 points a game, Romo had like 35 touchdowns, some bullshit. And I was like, hey, look, man, we have great players. I mean, run the wishbone and we're still going to score 35 fucking points a game. It doesn't matter, you know, but the offense sucks. It's boring. It's not going to work. It's not there for long term. And if we miss a player, we're doomed. And what happened? We start missing players and we're doomed. That's another thing I love about fucking Kellen Moore. Think about this. What if we would have lost, Jason Garrett was still head coach and we lost Martin against the Bucs? How would that turn out? If we lost fucking Collins for fucking 5 games, how would that turn out? We wouldn't ever got fucking no help because Still does get help. He's maybe doing good, but he does get some chips and something. We don't leave him on the island 100% of the time. You know, fucking he changes everything up. He gets the ball out of Dak's fucking hand quick. He fucking, who we're playing, this is what we're going to do because this is where they're weak at. He attacks that. Garrett never did that. Garrett, like, this is what we do. This is how we have to do it. This is what we do. Whether we got the second guy in, the third guy in, you got to play as good as the first guy. And it never worked because once you lose a guy, you have to take that in consideration. You know, when Dez wasn't playing, he still wanted fucking whoever was the wide receiver. Then we had multiple of them. He thought they had to do exactly what Dez did. Nobody could do what Dez did because Dez was Dez. So you had to change that and you had to back up. 2018, we went with what? A fucking receiver by committee. And me and Eric was all happy. Like, fuck yeah, we're going to change our offense. Finally, we're going to change the offense. We're going to
still trying to do the same shit.
And what do? We come out and run the same fucking offense we always did with no number 1 and really not even fucking a very good number 2.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's not going to work. If you can do that. There's offenses that don't have wide receivers like us, and they still put up yards. They still put up points. But you have to change it. You have to do something different. You can't have 3 curl routes and a go route every fucking play. You know, you can't have a receiver like Dez who's big body, big dude, just
wins one-on-ones, wins 50-50s, right?
You can't have somebody 6'3", weighs 185 doing what Dez does because they can't do what Dez does. So you have to put him in position to win.
More picks, more screens, more quick crossing routes, shit like that. Right.
Moore does that. He whatchamacallit broke down NFL matchup, broke down a play on Twitter the other day. I saw it about Moore called a play and fucking something happened on it and it didn't work because that's right, because he had to dump it off because there was pressure. But later on in the drive or maybe the next drive, he called the exact same play because it worked out beautifully. Dak had the guy tied in wide open. He just couldn't get to him because he was getting pressure. He had to dump it off. Exact same fucking play, scored a touchdown. That was the one that fucking my son called. said he jumped up and started yelling, "He's open!" He's like, "I called that." I think it's because CD Lamb, that first play of CD Lamb, I did the same thing. I was watching CD on that play, and right when I saw him take that post, I jumped up, CD, and fucking Trey was like, "Hey, you saw that early." So I think Trey was looking the whole game trying to find somebody.
Trying to get a game.
So he can say, "I did that shit too, Dad. You ain't that fucking good."
I'd have to go back and watch it. The Lunatic. I know I've had this comment pulled up for a while, but I've been meaning to talk about it. It looked to me like a linebacker got in the lane, but
thank you, Andrew.
Okay. It could have been a slip, but something like that, man. When it's early downs too, you're not up against it. It's not third down, and you're empty set. You want as much protection as you can get in your end zone like that. So just keeping a back there would have helped that. So in case that they do, happen to take away your fucking hot route or whatever the fuck, get in the lane there or get in the way, and you don't have to double clutch like he did. So I'd have to go back and watch it to see if CD Lamb slipped like you said, but I could have sworn it was a linebacker in the middle that just ran in front of the lane.
What play are you talking about?
The fumble where he, the fumble for 6 or whatever.
Oh, no, he's right. He did slip. No, he didn't slip. If I remember right, he wasted too much time. He did.
I was going to say he didn't break it off fast enough, right?
He kind of stood
in
up
the lane by that time. Yeah,
now, I know I look stupid doing it, but he fucking did that little shake, and at that play you didn't need to do a shake. You just need to get in your fucking route.
Right.
You like that?
You know they're fucking coming, bro. You know they're coming.
I got to screen record that and just put it on Twitter. That's me doing this. Take the sound out of everything. People are like, what the fuck? But anyways, yeah, I look even worse by trying to do it standing up with my back.
Here's a new name I'm gonna call. Jason's offense was stuck in the 90s way too damn long. You're absolutely fucking right. We tried playing bully ball up until the last fucking second. And the Lunatic said earlier, Jason Garrett wasn't fired. Technically, his contract. If I didn't see Jason Garrett in a fucking Giants uniform on fucking national TV, you couldn't convince me that he didn't leave that building. Wasn't it? How fucking weird was it?
Like after a couple of weeks,
he was just hanging around, bro. Like,
he was hoping they change his mind. Like,
yeah,
if I just stay here, maybe they'll change. Like when a wife and husband divorce and shit or separate, one of them tries to stay in the house, like
just another bedroom or something.
Yeah, maybe I just, if I stay here long enough, she'll love me again. No, bitch, she ain't gonna love you again. Get the fuck out.
So awkward. It was so awkward. So yeah, if I didn't see him on TV in a fucking Giants shit. Man, I wouldn't have never thought he left the fucking building.
Yeah, that was weird. That was nobody understood it either. Everybody and so many Cowboy fans, and I don't blame them, but so many Cowboy fans like that's mean he's not fired. They're gonna keep that motherfucker. That's why he's not leaving. They're gonna keep him. And I was like, I don't see him keeping him. I just thought every other year when people like, oh, they're gonna fire him in a year. Eric knows this. I'm like, they're not firing him. He's gonna keep. But that year I'm like, they're gonna fire him. That there's. They can't not fire him this one. I mean, that year was. I mean, their team wasn't prepared in multiple games. I mean, you had a great offense and shit. But I did actually think that fucking Kellen Moore might get a shot at fucking. At that time, I thought he might get a shot at fucking that head coach, and I didn't want that. A lot of people back then was wanting Kellen Moore. I'm like,
that early.
He had 1 year quarterback coach and 1 year offense coordinator. Let's let him coordinate a little longer before we fucking do that shit.
Just the experience of,
Yes, he did.
I don't think people realize how much goes into it. It's why you kind of have to, give Mike McCarthy a little bit of slack because, I mean, there's a lot of shit going on on that fucking sideline. Like, not just what's happening in the game, but coaches in your ear, hey, my guy's banged up, he can't play for this, we need this. I mean, you're hearing everything, right? You're hearing fucking DC up in the fucking booth. We're play calling. You have to manage all that shit. So you kind of cut him some slack. But a guy like Kellen Moore, who's really only, coached a couple years, just been part of the process, you can't – he's a great offensive mind. There's no question about it. But in my opinion, he wouldn't have – I wouldn't give a guy the reins at 2 years of experience of just going through those everyday things. Does he know how to run a practice? You know what I mean? Like – just the normal procedures of every fucking day football life. That's a lot of fucking shit to do. So to be able to manage that in just 2 years of experience, I don't know.
Yeah, he was a quarterback coach in 18, offensive coordinator in 19, 20, and 20. So he's been a coach for 4 years. Actually, not 4 years because the year ain't over.
No, I'm talking about when, before Mike.
Oh, yeah, no, most definitely.
After JG.
So at 3 years and 3 games, people were wanting to fire Mike McCarthy and hire fucking that motherfucker as a head coach. And this is the same guy that most Cowboy fans hated last year because they thought his play calling sucked with a fucking ragtag bunch of crew out there. They even thought his play calling sucked in 2019 too. So I find it amazing. And yeah, if he slipped, I have to watch again. I might be thinking a different play. I thought the play I was talking about, he just did his little, I'm not going to do it again, his little jiggle, and then fucking got out of his route. But he might have slipped too. I do know there was a play. I do remember him slipping, but I don't remember being that play, but I could be wrong.
I just remember Dak double clutching, whatever the fuck it was. If it was a linebacker in the lane, if it was 88 slipping, if it was both, maybe.
That was in our end zone too. I didn't know what the
problem is. He didn't have protection. It was an empty set. Why are we in an empty set on your own fucking end zone?
Yeah, that was in our end zone. I didn't know what the fuck had happened. I just seen him get hit and
they called touchdown. I didn't even see it on the television.
Eagles started celebrating. And fucking, I told Charles, they just fucking scored.
They scored a fucking touchdown.
Yeah. Like, Jesus Christ.
Sack fumble.
I was like,
I don't think did the ball even hit the ground? I feel like it went straight into.
No, it was an interception. Yeah. Well, I guess it could have been a fumble. I guess they wrote it as fumble. I don't think it ever came out of for it. Yeah, but yeah, either way, no, it never hit the ground. It was Cox got it out of the air. Cox. There's another Cox. Cox grabbed that shit out of there. Fucking Cox.
Andrew says, someone who lives in New York City, man, they're ready to run his ass out of here. I don't know, man. I think they're going to make him fucking head coach.
That's what we did.
I think Joe Judge is on his fucking way out, bro.
That's because Jason is
a big red and some hand lotion. Because
I think Jason's a huge kiss ass, and he knows exactly what to say to get him in that seat.
He's a kiss ass, and he's smart. He's from Princeton, and
smartest guy in the room.
If you remember, this is off Cowboy Zone, that group, that forum I used to go to. There's a guy named Hostile on there, real educated fan, probably one of the smartest fans I've ever ran into, but he did say stupid shit sometimes. And he was a big Jason Garrett fan. And his defense was that Baltimore wanted to hire him, and Baltimore said that he was so good in his interview, he could have ran for president. I'm like, what the fuck does that have to do with being a head coach of the football team? Let that bitch run for president then. I'd rather have him as my president and my fucking football coach. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it has nothing to do with. He's like, that just shows you how good he is. That shows you how good he is at talking shit.
Yeah,
selling people on how good he is when he sucks dick. It has nothing to do with one another. Look at some of the presidents we've had. They sold us on a bill of goods, and they ended up going in and being not worth a fuck. Every president fucking sells us on a bit of goods and goes in and typically, whether you like them or not, whether you vote for them or not, they do fucked up shit. They do fucked up shit that they can't explain. So, no, I don't give a shit if he was good at fucking being president and was good in his interview. But my point was, he can sell you. I think he could sell the Giants. I really think he could sell them. Hey, look, I only had so much control, y'all. All right, I'm just offense. You give me the reins, and I'll change this offense all around. Judge, he only limited me on what I could run, and he could sell them. And plus, he's a New York guy, and he played for the Giants. It's a little similar to the Cowboys, So
Google Wade Phillips.
Google Wade Phillips.
This is about to happen to him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Google Wade Phillips. Yeah.
All right,
exactly
guys.
What happened to Wade.
Yo,
we're at an hour.
This is like the third fucking Panthers fan we've gotten in here.
Keep coming in. We love it.
Come on.
Make sure to hit the dislike button.
I think it's somebody who don't like us and just fucking got a fake account.
That could be literally thousands of people.
Who has the time, bro?
Somebody that doesn't like us.
That
didn't really narrow it down. So we're at an hour 49. You guys want to do predictions?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I got to think of some numbers.
Okay. Do we want to play Bluff's game and do a few over-unders, or do we want to just predict scores?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Running yards, Ezekiel Elliott under over 50.
I'll say for the same reason last week, over.
I think over.
I think
we got one right last week. The tight ends. Y'all said they'd have under 4, and Schultz had over 4. But I did say both tight ends would, and I missed that one.
No, I think
Anyways.
the question was combined tight ends, not each, right? Or was it each?
Each.
No way, it was
no,
each.
No. It was just would one of our tight ends have four or more? And I said not only one, both will. So I got one right. Schultz almost made up for it. He almost got 8.
Yeah,
I could have still claimed I was right. Like, hey, he just borrowed some from fucking German. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I think Zeke would have over 50.
I'm gonna go under. I think it's gonna be under. Okay. Wide receivers as a unit. Wide receivers as a unit.
As a unit. She said unit.
Fuck you, Charlie. Over under 3 touchdowns.
Oh, over. Are we counting tight ends too, or just wide receivers?
Just wide receivers. Cooper, Lamb, Wilson, Brown.
I'll go over.
Over
3?
Yeah.
3.
Ooh. I think that's
I can't go over. I gotta go under because that won't match up with my score prediction. So
I think I'm gonna push on that one.
Push?
No, fucking you and your fucking ties, dude.
I think the receivers will get 3. I think the backs once we get down in the near the goal line, which will probably happen.
Hey, tell your girlfriend to get out of our chat.
Exactly. I just saw the comment. Come on, man. I'll go. I'm going to go with push. I'm going to push on that shit. I say the receivers get 3 touchdowns. I think Dak rushes for 1, and I think the other backs will get 1 as well. The running backs will get 1 as well. I've got 5 touchdowns this game.
Yeah, I got to go under because my score won't match up if I say over.
I'm gonna go under as well. Micah Parsons and Randy Gregory combined sacks. Over under 2.
Over.
I'll go under.
I'm over.
I'm just gonna be a hater, I guess.
Yes, you.
Throw in Osa and I'll go over.
I do love it. Osa is like a melody in my head. I love that guy.
A fucking beast is what he is.
Is he our sack leader?
No.
He had 1.5, 2.
No, Parsons. Parsons is our sack leader. Yeah. All right, score predictions. Let's do it.
He's our sacks leader. He's our pressures leader. He's our quarterback knockdown.
I don't want to hear that fucking pressures bullshit. I don't want to hear that PFF bullshit. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear
you know what? We're going to get on this real quick because I want to explain this to you. Because you don't even realize you agreed with PFF. I said it on our
sacks, pressures, hurries. I get hit. It's all included in the. I get it. Okay, it didn't happen. Still.
But it did, and you admitted it did. You don't even know you admitted it. Other day when you were saying that you looked at the thing, you was like he didn't have 8 pressures, and I was like, he's like you like fuck PFF, and I explained what the pressures were, and you're like he didn't have 8, but this is what you did. You said he had 4 times that he changed the quarterbacks, that he hurried him, that he changed the quarterback's fucking thing, made him do this,
plus a sack, plus a couple of hits.
Yeah. You said he had 4. Yeah, you said he had 4. Okay, PFL was right.
Okay,
they had 4 hurries. That's not a pressure. That's a hurry. They had the 3 quarterback knockdowns because he knocked him down. That's 7, and he had a sack. That's 8. That's how they got 8 pressures. That's where they get their 8 pressures from.
I got you.
Go ahead, Rika.
What was I'm sorry. What was the over under?
We're on to scores, man. There is
already. Oh, we're done with over unders. Shit,
we're done with the over unders.
What did I say was the last one? Tight ends.
Sacks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we know, man.
How many fucking pressures? Fuck off. Let's go to the score.
All right, score. I'm gonna say Dallas wins 24-17.
Go ahead.
27-23.
See, I've got 5 touchdowns, so I've got to have at least.
I need to start writing this
35.
down.
35, right? Let me go. I'm Team 40 Burger. I think it's the same thing as last week, except shit, they might even score less than the Eagles. I really felt like that last touchdown that Jordan Lewis let go. I don't know what he was fucking jumping at, but he could have had a pick there. So that last touchdown shouldn't have counted either. I think
the same thing fucking Jalen was jumping at.
Give me That was bad. That was bad.
I don't know what the fuck that was. It was funny. All the memes.
This guy's trying to put shit on tape,
dude.
bro. This dude is trying to put some fake ass hustle on tape.
It was the memes that came from it was hilarious.
Off the top rope and shit. Anyways, give me 41. Give me 42. No, 41. Two field goals.
Okay. 42.
No, 41.
41.
Yeah, 2 field goals, 5 touchdowns. Against I think it's gonna be better than fucking. Give me 17.
17. Okay.
41-17.
What'd you say,
Cowboys.
Charlie? I know Charlie given
27-23.
27-23.
She's smart. She's trying to win pick'ems.
No, I'm just writing it down. I mean, like, sometimes it doesn't even matter. Last week I said 31-13.
So Mendoza has a push for the. What was that for? Touchdowns, receivers, touchdowns. Because tight end getting this part.
Yeah, I think that's what he pushed it.
I like
and
that.
then he said over for the sacks because it's Cam Irving. Is that right?
Statistically speaking, the lunatic, probably so.
So that makes sense. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay.
Jump off of there.
No, that's good. Yeah,
I just wanted to get everybody's shit up there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I got everybody's fucking scores up there, and I'd like to thank everybody. Fucking the 94s. I think you're new to us. If you aren't, I'm sorry that I don't recognize you. The lunatic, of course, the hooker of all podcasts. Mendoza, he knows I love him. Mendoza, I'd like to thank Mendoza. We had a couple new ones in there.
Meeker, Ken Hughes, I saw earlier.
Lunsford's always in there. Thank you.
Couple of different Andrews.
Andrew DeCall. No, I might be pronouncing it DeCall, but thank you. First time I've seen you, but Matt, Panther fan, go eat a bag of dicks.
30-27. How do you figure, man? I mean, just how are they scoring that without CMC? How are they doing that? They've never, this ain't your
scored 30 all fucking year.
That's my point. Like, what are we doing here?
I don't know if they scored 30 all last year, but yeah, thank all y'all.
With no Todd CMC, it's just.
I think Frankie's already gone, but in case he's not gone, Frankie, thank you for coming in. First time I seen you in here. I see you on Twitter all the time.
That's Mr. Fucking Hooker.
And I want to thank Blackie George
is that what he
for calling me stupid.
Oh yeah, what's up, Blackie? Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, you too, Blackie. That sounds fucked up when I say it. You know what I'm saying, Blackie? Like, just let you know that was his or her name, Blackie. I'm not.
Thank you, Blackie
some
George.
Name I'm making up.
Coming to my channel and calling me stupid. Yeah. You're the goat.
Hey, if you're not trolling, you're not doing it right. If you're not getting trolled, you're not doing it
right. Yeah, shit. Fuck, I don't get trolled at all. I just get a lot of shit talked behind my back.
That's mostly me and Eric.
And private chats and shit. Well, no, it includes y'all too, you fucks. But
I'll tell you to your face. Fuck you.
That's what I'm saying. Eric pretty much says
we work out the bullying game plan, and then we go over to the Charlie chat. Yeah.
All right.
Hi, Charlie.
That's fucking weak. I got to get together and get a game
plan. We like to coordinate our insults.
Don't be telling them that bullshit, man.
Make sure they pack the biggest punch.
But anyways, I'd like to thank all y'all. I'll give a shout out to hashtag DC for Life group. I messaged her. I asked her to come on the 25th, Amanda Foster, and she never answered me. And then, so after a couple of days ago, I said, "Well, I guess the 25th wasn't good for you."
It looks like Bluff's schedule is going to open up for the remaining Saturdays on the season so far, is what he said, right? So, and he's got the little phone line deal. Either we need to figure out how it works and how to set it up, or Bluff will be able to get that going. Because I think that's what she wanted to do anyway. And I know we told the Lunatic and even Lunsford wanted to come on too. So however we'll do it, we'll get Bluff back next week and he can hook that phone line shit up.
And also the Lunatic, I told you, like I said, if you want to give out anything, free shirts and shit, let us know. We'll hook you up. We'll help you out with that, or whatever you want to do with that.
Mendoza too. I'm pretty sure Mendoza wouldn't have a problem coming on.
Yeah, we'll get all of them on. Hell, we get all of them on the same fucking time.
Just have like a big ass Zoom meeting, fucking 20 people.
Can you imagine all the talking over each other? Jesus fucking Christ.
Shut the fuck up.
I'll be mute, motherfucker. Mute.
Especially because everybody's got lives, right? Fucking kids and fucking bullshit in the background and whatever the fuck else. That should be funny.
Well, I think we all do good about not interrupting each other. I always thought we did pretty good. Even when we do, we'll like if I do, I'll say, "Oh, sorry," we apologize and shit.
Yeah.
Instead of just keep fucking going and being a fucking rude ass. But anyways.
Last week, Dak has filthy fans yelling, "We should have kept the wins." Sunday, Dak gonna have kitty fans, and we could have kept Teddy.
That is true. Teddy's looking not so bad in fucking Denver.
Hey, both of those teams are overrated.
I think
context is key.
I've always said that it takes 6 weeks before you really know who's who. Will there be outliers? Sure. There will be after 6 weeks. There'll be a team that you still thought was good, like they could be 5-1. You're like, yep, they're for real, and they might end up sucking. But for the most part, after 6 weeks, you kind of have an idea. Okay, these are the teams that's going to compete, and that gives enough time to weed out all the people in my mind, like Carolina and like Denver. I think they'll get weeded out by 6 weeks. I think we'll be able to tell. Okay, that 3-0 was a little bit of who they played and just new season and not a new quarterback, shit like that. You get some film on the guys. But yeah, after about
film starts to catch up here pretty quick.
Yeah, that's what I say. After about 6 weeks, and I watch Denver. I'm sorry, they just don't impress me fucking at all. Their defense, but that's been like that for a few years now. But they're fucking. I like Teddy, but I just don't.
No explosion there. They don't throw it to Noah Fant enough. I know that my fantasy team knows that.
Yeah, I know fucking that Trey has Noah Fant. He's getting pissed off because he told me the other day, he said, "I thought you said he was good." I said, "Fucking
he is." They don't throw it to him.
He's open. Throw it to him. It's like fucking they have a conservative game plan. Run the ball.
And you would think that's why I picked him because, like, man, it's Teddy B. He's gonna be checking down a lot of little bullshit dump. No, fuck it.
Yeah, my son's pissed. He's like, "You told me he was good."
They got a couple of good receivers there. I'm not going to totally
you was good too. I was lying to you too, so I'm fucking goddamn. I always talk shit to him. But anyways, thank all y'all for coming in. Come back in next Saturday.
Don't forget to tune in Wednesday night at 7 for Rika Moves the Chains.
Jesus Christ, if you gave me a fucking chance, I would have fucking said that.
Yeah, well, it didn't sound like you were going to say it, Charlie.
I was leading into
You weren't going to say it.
I was leading into Dallas Cowboys Uncensored on Tuesday, and don't forget Wednesday. And you just jumped ahead and fucking like, hey, look at my show. I write a blog. Fucking come watch me.
I hate you so much.
Everybody know that I love Rika. We are good friends, and when I fuck with her, this is all fun and games. And trust me, I've talked a lot more shit to her behind the scenes than I do on here. If I said some of this shit on here, we get kicked off YouTube. So
absolutely.
All a fucking joke. I'm looking forward to doing a show with her every Wednesday. So this is all joking around. But yeah, no, check out Rika Moves the Chains on Wednesdays. And then check us out since we're fucking nobodies. Check us out on Tuesday. Bye. No, I'm just kidding. Check out DCU on Tuesdays. We didn't do a show last week because I didn't get home till Tuesday. I was tired. I was going to do it on Wednesday, but we was going to walk over Bluff because Bluff.
It's like 8 Sunday games in a row, so we shouldn't have any schedule.
And then Eric was like, "Let's do it Thursday." I was like, "Yes, let's do it Thursday." We've done this before. I don't know why, but 2 hours after we do it, we're like, "Hey, Thursday night football." We're like,
we're going to be competing against Thursday. Who the fuck's going to watch our dumbasses?
Yeah, we'll skip it and we'll start next Tuesday. But like Eric said, it should be more level now every Tuesday. But check us out. Tuesdays, me and Eric. Wednesdays, me and Rika, or Rika and me, since it's her show. And
shout out Bluff and Lambo too. They're not here.
And check out Bluff every Wednesday at 8:30. Since he's not here, but I'll still give him a plug.
Bluff City Cowboys.
8:30 every Wednesday. Bluff City Cowboys would be Cowboys Zone, him and Lambo, if Lambo ever comes back. With whatever the fuck he's doing. He's over COVID. I know that. He's better. So congratulations, Lambo.
Good.
Glad you're better.
Happy that he's over COVID.
Yep. Oh man. Anyways, yeah.
clusterfuck of a great time. Appreciate you.
Thank you, the lunatic. All right. Thank you, guys. I think we're out of here.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Peace.
Later, dudes.
Good night.
Later.